what it means, does anybody know what 00 is? Brilliant. Excellent. Okay. So you have.
Soft.
Have you talked about flour with Miranda at all? Has she explained there's different types of flours? Perfect. Okay, so you've got, in America it's slightly different, okay, but in England we have plain flour and we have strong flour. Okay, this is used for cake and biscuits, and this is used for bread, okay, and pasta. Okay, do you know what the difference is? Why is it different? Good. Okay, gluten. Have you heard of gluten before? Okay, do you know what gluten is? Brilliant. You're a genius. Okay, so because it on the side of the packet it says your nutritional information. Okay, but it doesn't say gluten. But what it does say is protein. Okay, now this one has 12 grams of protein for every 100 grams, so 12% is protein. So, Miranda's recipe, she had 00 flour and semolina flour. Okay, now we've only got this semolina. Okay, but you can see it's quite coarse. Well, I'm going to try making some of this and we'll see what it's like. But I think that might be a little bit too grainy, so you might notice it in the final pasta. Okay, she's then got egg yolk and water. Okay, now we've got lots of eggs, but that means we'll have lots of egg whites left. I don't like to waste. Okay, so what we're going to do is a slightly different recipe, and I'll give you one of these in a little while. But we're going to do a more simple recipe, which is just flour and egg. We're going to use this. So actually you're going to do 400 grams of flour each, so that we have enough. Because today we're going to make spaghetti, we're going to make lasagna, and we're going to make a filled kind of tortellini. So we've got mozzarella, well, we've got fresh mozzarella, it's called burrata. Okay, so it's much nicer than just mozzarella, softer, and we're going to add some what we call lemon bark to it. Take your pasta, so you do 400 grams of flour, do 5 eggs. Okay, the recipe says for every 100 grams of flour, 1 large egg. These eggs are not large; these are medium, so they're a bit smaller. So 400 grams of flour, 5 eggs, the middle. So spread it out a bit. You could make this in the Thermomix with Miranda. I don't know how to use it properly. We're going to do it the traditional way. So you have the flour around the side, your egg into a bowl, and you're going to mix, and that goes into the middle, all of it. This one I'm following this recipe, but I've already made, this is what yours will look like. So you're going to end up with this. Start to knead it, because at the moment it's very tight and a great. Italy is very famous for pasta. Okay? In terms of where it first was made, there is a story that there was an explorer called Marco Polo who brought it from China.
Marco Polo.
Okay, it's a story. I don't think it's entirely true. Okay, so nobody's really sure. But for sure, China has been making something similar for thousands of years. Italy has been making. In England, we have made in the past similar. So every country that grows wheat will make flour, will make something like a pasta. Or use a spoon in it and keep breaking it up. And then we're going to add the vegetables, the meat. We're going to do a tomato blanched. Have you done this where you take the skin off? Yeah. We'll dice the tomato, that goes in, maybe a bit of puree. You can add a little drop of red wine if you want to, and some beef stock. Okay, so that's going to be our ragu. and then we need to make a bechamel, and then we're going to do our layers. So that takes the longest preparation. Okay, that's easy. When we roll our pasta, it's just going to be big sheets, big squares that will fit perfectly into the container. Get that into the oven. Easy one. Then we can start doing some cut pasta. That's where we do our linguine. We can try cutting some by hand. Okay, I brought this in from home. This is my little toy today.
유행했었던 라구입니다. 라구 샌드위치, 라구 파스타. 이거는 라구. 여기에 드러나는 소스. 양파, 당근, 마늘, 파슬리 이렇게 해가지고 거기다가 와인, 레드 와인,
white sauce. So in here, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and a little bit of nutmeg. Have you used this yet? Yeah. Yeah? It's really quite strong. It's perfume kind of smell. Okay, so you want it on a fairly fine grater. Okay, so a little bit will go in. I'll show you over here. Okay. Okay, so then a bit the white sauce. Again, in England we tend to put cheese into the white sauce. Italians don't do that, they only do cheese on the top. Okay, so a little bit of white sauce, a little bit of this. Okay, all of these, most of these clams are alive. Okay, they're still alive. Okay, so you can either use a machine. So spaghetti, in Italy you'll see it this kind of length. Often the shops only this because it's easier to transport. Okay, but nearly there. Yes. Okay, so there we are. So they're all open. Pasta. Not too much drain, straight in. And my mum cooked pasta, my mum's not a chef. I remember her putting oil in the water when she cooked pasta. Don't do it. What happened? Nothing happens, you waste the oil. Lobster is underneath, they never meet. Okay, so you cook the pasta, take it out, then oil, no problem.
Okay.
But don't put oil in there because you're wasting the time. Anything else? I'm happy.